come forward. You have had the data from the Honorable Minister and his team, what they are about to do to turn the country to a large construction site for housing units. That's all I need to remind you. Standing before you as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That profound speech by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on February 8, 2024, re-echoing the assurance of the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Engiwa, set the tone for what is now one of the biggest highlights of the current administration. Barely 14 months after that groundbreaking speech by Mr. President, there are several cities and neighborhoods springing to life in many parts of the country. Here at Karsana in the Federal Capital Territory, the ministry is constructing a total of 3,112 housing units of various house types through a public-private partnership with a consortium of developers.
When we came on board was to ensure they will provide affordable houses to the low-income earners of the country. That's why we made the houses very flexible. We have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms. And those houses are organic in nature in the sense 1 bedroom can transmit into a 2 bedroom and 2 bedrooms into a 3 bedrooms. So that if you can't afford 3 bedrooms, please pick the 2 bedrooms. And then you manage it up to a certain time when you can afford to add another 1 bedroom by constructing 2 walls and roofing it. Then it becomes a 3 bedrooms. This is one way we are doing, and we ensure that even access to the houses are made easy and accessible for Nigerians.
The aim, according to the minister, is to leverage the private sector to share up housing delivery efforts beyond budgetary allocations.
In housing, we realize that you cannot rely solely on the budgetary allocation. If that's the hitch, that is the hitch you know. There is constraint to what the government can fund for you. But there is a PPP, public-private partnerships, to which we are collaborating to ensure that we upscale the performance of PPP to ensure that we work together.
The city in Karsana is part of the broader Renewed Hope housing program, which has 3 main components: Renewed Hope Cities, Renewed Hope Estates, and Renewed Hope Social Housing Program. The federal government has an ambitious plan to deliver 50,000 housing units, first phase of the Cities and Estates program, targeting Nigerians across all income segments. On one hand, the Renewed Hope City will provide an average of 1,000 to 5,000 housing units per site in each of the geopolitical zones of the country and the FCT. A magnificent enclave in Karsana, beautifully carved out and portraying architectural brilliance with a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom blocks of flats, 2 and 3 bedroom terraces, and 4 and 5 bedroom duplexes. Ibeju Lekki, Lagos is another location that has sprung to life.
It has never happened to us like this. Mr. President is going to start 250 per each state. This is the Renewed Hope Estates, which already we have started in 13 states.
With 2,000 housing units to be delivered here, one can only imagine how comfort, laughter, and dignity this place will provide for Nigerians when fully completed. According to sources like the World Bank, Nigeria's housing deficit is within the range of 17 and 28 million, a figure that Nigerian authorities say has not been scientifically verified. What is certain, however, is the ministry's determination under the Tinubu administration to address the issue frontally.
Mr. President's agenda involves making housing available. This means that Mr. President is quite ready to expend a lot of funds towards achieving this. So far, we have been well funded towards achieving these mandates, and we have these projects ongoing all over the country.
There is also the Renewed Hope City in Kano, a 1,500 housing unit project set to create an integrated living space for Nigerians who desire decent and practical neighborhoods. With PPPs set to deliver 100,000 housing units in all, government recognizes that the housing challenge will require much more than budgetary allocation to fix.
The idea around renewed hope is no longer a rhetoric. It's about the concept of belief, And the reality is that Nigeria has a huge housing deficit. And this housing deficit cannot be solved only by government interventions because the government has limited resources and many priorities that it has to attend to. So one of the things that we have seen under the present administration of the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is his pragmatic approach to see how private sector can drive economic growth while government provides the enabling policies and environment to drive that growth. Just before this administration, the real estate subsector was nowhere within the top 5 fastest and largest sectors of the economy. But post this government, the real estate sector is now second, overtaking the oil and gas industry within that space.
Because of competing government priorities for funds, we know we have to leverage on the private sector funding to help to bridge this gap. So that is where PPP unit comes in. So what we as a PPP unit try to do is to see if we can pick up some of the business of government and then leverage it to the private sector in such a way that it will not impact too much on the citizens that we aim to provide the social amenities for.
On the other hand, the Renewed Hope estates are being provided in the remaining 30 states of the country, each having a minimum of 250 housing units as well as 500-unit additional estate in Kano, all targeting the low to middle income category of the population.
In my state, he said 500 units should be started in Kano State, maybe because of our population and the importance to Mr. President. So Kano people, we need to appreciate him more than any state because he's giving priority to us all the time. Whatever project he's doing in this country, he gives Kano special attention.
There are currently 15 active construction sites nationwide for a total of 10,112 housing units. These include 12 Renewed Hope estates, 2 in each geopolitical zone, with 250 housing units in each state. There are Yobe and Gombe in the northeast, Nasarawa and Benue in the north central, Sokoto and Katsina in the northwest, Abia and Ebonyi in the southeast, Delta and Akwa Ibom in the south-south, and Oyo and Oshun in the southwest. These estates, totaling 3,500 units, comprised the first batch of states fully funded by the federal government through budgetary allocations, with land provided by the state governments.
There are 3 categories of Renewed Hope initiative and housing development under this administration. We have the Renewed Hope cities that are funded under public-private partnerships, and they are constructed in 7 locations, FCT and 1 in each of all zone of the country. This is a PPP arrangement whereby developers approach the ministries through collaborations, and then they raise their funding, and then they start construction in these locations. And due to the fact that they need a quick return on investment, they have to raise their funding and ensure that they complete the construction within a specific period of time. That's why most of the construction is ongoing, and we have over 6,000 houses ongoing. We have 3,112 in Abuja, 2,000 in Lagos, and another 2,000 in Kano. And these have gone a long way in that construction. The second aspect is that of Renewed Hope cities, estates, that we are doing across 30 states of the Federation, to which we have taken 12 states now. We are constructing in 12 states, 2 in each geopolitical zone of the country. Initial takeoff was dragged initially because most states were reluctant to give us land at the inception. But later on they realized that Israel is coming up, they started bringing their land.
Home ownership options have been designed to suit various affordability capabilities of Nigerians. These include single-digit and up to 30-year mortgage loans to be provided by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, rent-to-own options where beneficiaries can move in and pay towards home ownership in monthly, quarterly, or annual installments, and outright purchase for high-income earners. The ministry also launched an online housing portal. The platform provides a transparent, easy-to-use, integrated, web-based application for the sale of homes, from applications to payment from anywhere in the world.
The construction purposely is an affordable housing and is to meet the need of the Nigerians. And that is why, if you want to access it, we have a portal through which you can access. So it limits the human interaction. And so within Nigeria or outside Nigeria, wherever you may be.
The job creation impact of the program is also worthy of mention. At an average of 25 jobs per house, these 10,112 housing units are providing jobs for nearly 253,000 skilled and unskilled Nigerians. The 50,000 units to be completed in the first phase will employ at least 1,250,000 Nigerians. This is in addition to the value chain effects of purchase, supply of building materials, businesses around the construction sites, etc.
I think if I'm to look at this side, we have over 5,000 to 10,000 people. By analysis, 5,000 to 10,000 people or more, all working in unity. And and it's very rare for people to be working this kind of thing, and you don't have issues, you don't have clashes. We work with understanding, less friction. Understanding, because we believe in the Renewed Hope City projects, and we are ready to push to get our results.
We have lost so many engineers, architects, QS. Even a lot of people are with us, a lot of students are with us doing IT, and they are contributing to the progress of the other, and learning and making progress too, at least for the nation.
However, with incomes generally low, rising inflation and its attendant effect on cost of building materials, it is almost impossible for many Nigerians to own their own homes. It is this realization that birthed the third component of the Renewed Hope Housing Program, known as the Renewed Hope Social Housing Program. This program is aimed at ensuring that all Nigerians, including the low and no income, vulnerable and underprivileged groups, have access to decent and dignified accommodation. The first phase, comprising a total of 77,400 units, 100 units in each of the 774 local government areas of the country, will be funded under the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund.
This is just about constructing 100 houses in each of the 774 local government areas of the Federation. And you call it ambitious. I don't think it's an ambitious project. It's part of the Renewed Hope agenda of Mr. President, and inshallah we are going to achieve it.
We're looking to commence the Renewed Hope Social Housing Scheme, which will involve the construction of 100 houses per local government across Nigeria. That's approximately 77,400 houses across the country. It's a very massive endeavor, and the expenditure will be huge.
When implemented, this program will be a game changer, representing Nigeria's most ambitious attempt at addressing the housing deficit in the country. One of the agencies under the ministry that is solidly supporting the Renewed Hope Housing Program is the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. It is being done in 3 different ways: providing 100 billion naira off-taker guarantee for the Renewed Hope City project, providing direct funding of nearly 47 billion naira for the FCT and Lagos cities, offering mortgage loans to contributors for off-taking homes built under the program.
Ordinarily, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is a mortgage institution, and that presupposes that the houses will be available and then Nigerians can access those houses. But in the course of our operations, we have discovered that it is either that houses are not available or that the houses available are not within the threshold of affordability to our target market, who are the low and medium income earners. We decided now to venture into construction financing so that we can determine the cost at which these houses are delivered, so that Nigerians can have an opportunity to access houses that are affordable. If you go all over Nigeria, take Abuja for example, you will find a lot of vacant houses that are not occupied. Why is this? Because those houses are not affordable to ordinary Nigerians. And that is why I keep saying that in Nigeria, we have houses we do not need, and we need houses we do not have. The houses we need are not available, and the houses that are available are not affordable. So you have a development, for example, where you invest 20 billion naira to build only 20 houses. Each house is 1 billion naira. How many people can afford the house of 1 billion naira? But if you give 20 billion naira to Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, we can construct an estate of 500 housing units for 500 households at an average of 5 or even 10 per household. You can imagine what number of people will be housed in Nigeria.
The Federal Mortgage Bank holds a pivotal position in the collective efforts to provide housing for Nigerians. Strategically playing in both the supply and demand ends of the sector, they make sure that affordable houses are not just built, but that Nigerians are given the opportunity to own them. Some of the products offered by the bank include NHF mortgage loan, individual construction loan, rent to own, home renovation loan, cooperative housing development loan, estate development loan, and the soon-to-be launched diaspora mortgage loan and rent assistant loan products. Another agency supporting the Renewed Hope housing program is the Federal Housing Authority, FHA. With a mandate to make housing ownership possible for Nigerians, the FHA has been on the road, engaging state governments, securing land, and is on the verge of unleashing a nationwide housing project to help bridge the nation's housing deficit. Beyond housing delivery, the government is also focused on creating an enabling environment that supports the home ownership dreams of Nigerians. One of such efforts is land reforms. Understanding that providing the enabling environment for Nigerians to build their own homes will support efforts towards bridging the housing deficit, the ministry is leaving no stone unturned in land reforms. This is supported by an ongoing partnership with the World Bank towards the implementation of a national land tilling program. Through this program, the ministry aims to partner with state governments towards improving land formalization from the less than 10% to 50% in the next 10 years.
We recognize the fact that the Land Use Act of 1978, placed land administration with the state governors, and every state we go to, we relate with them. We seek for their approvals to get land, and we don't limit it to. We are party blood. We don't limit to party A or party C. The Renewed Hope housing estate and cities that are being constructed across the country now are spread across every political party, and we engage with the governors to provide us with land, and we also engage with them through members of the National Assembly to provide locations for our project, and those locations that are very, very, dear to the heart of the people, that the people, will be very happy to have.
Now, the idea is not to take over land administration from the state. The Constitution is very clear on that, and we're not trying to do a constitutional amendment. All we just want is a comprehensive land registry across the Federation in order to maximize the locked-up capital that exists in land registration, in which case the states will actually generate better revenue, and we, federal government, will also be able to have a very good database of all land registered in the country.
This is a holistic approach by the government to establish a comprehensive, efficient, and accessible land registration system across Nigeria, in line with the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The political will of my president, he has given us all the political will. Once he appoints you as a minister, he ensure that he put you at the right place where you could perform. And he ensure that he give you all the latitude you needed to do that. There is no time I want to see Mr. President, he will not allow me to see him. I'll go with my proposal, sit down with him, discuss with him, and then he agrees. If he needed to go to Federal Executive Council, he directs that he should go to the Federal Executive Council. If there's something that he needs to approve, he just approve it for you, and then you go ahead and do it. So once you have that political will, there's nothing you cannot do for your country.
By recording land transactions and ownership and implementing advanced digital tools and technologies, the National Land Registration and Documentation Program, NLRDP, seeks to ensure efficient land data management and accessibility for all stakeholders. The ministry has also recorded good progress in fixing the issues with the Federal Land Information System, FELIS. This digital system was created to centralize records of federal government land, ensuring their safety and integrity. Thankfully, it is now receiving the much-needed impetus that will see it become fully operational. A ray of bright light is beginning to shine across the housing and urban ecosystem in Nigeria. With uncommon commitment, expertise, and unrivaled innovation, architect Ahmed Musa Engiwa is driving an uncommon transformation in the housing and urban sector with a great sense of responsibility.
I will tell you about the minister. He's one of the best men I've ever seen. That's Ahmed Engiwa. He does not commonize. He does not look at you as who is this man. He talks to you and see what value can you really bring. Because that's from how I look at him and when we discuss, that is what he's trying. What value can you bring? Can you really deliver? Are you one of those developers that will just collect money and just be doing rubbish? He works on standard. I was surprised a day I didn't know. They said the minister is on my site. I'm telling you, they said the minister just entered the site and was checking around. This is the kind of man you have, and this is the kind of ministers we need.
As the months go by, Nigerians will continue to enjoy the dividends of democracy as grounds continue to break for new homes and thriving cities nationwide.